what you know or who you know?
It's a great question. Nobody's asked me that, by the way. Who knows me is more important than who I know. Number two, who I know. And number three, what I know.
Serve with a mighty heart, and I'll tell you what, the blessings will be great. I get to meet people like you guys who are doing good in the world.
So what's it about?
Who you know.
That's what it's about.
All I do is connect you guys to people, places, and things. That's the tip of the day.
If you are wanting to get a loan from a bank to start your business, what do you have to have? A business plan.
Your network is your net worth.
I life coach the biggest agents, managers, and entertainers in the world. I have over 300 entertainers. You guys are good.
In every exchange, someone is sold. Will it be you or will it be the other person?
You know, a lot of people say I have to see it to believe it. If you have to see it to believe it, you're never going to see it.
Never going to see it.
How do you help a stranger that you don't know anything about them?
Ask them.
Ask.
Coaching isn't a sign of weakness, it's a path to greatness. That's
Ooh,
a great
yeah. If you want to make $1 million, help 1 million people. If you want to make $1 billion, help 1 billion people.
For any of you job seekers out there, take 100% personal responsibility to get the attention of what you ultimately want. It's up to you, like 100% personal responsibility.
Amen.
We're looking for all kinds of positions. Like the best way to get a job here is to send a 30 to 60 second video.
Oh!
Mic drop.
Say what?
What's behind who you know? It was always connection. It was always networking. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but who you know can make all the difference in your career, your business, your life, your relationships, your whole world. Who you know can make all the difference. All right. So I'm super excited. Today is episode 320. If you are tuning in online, if I can get a 320 in the chat, I was super excited to see you guys here today. And if you're listening online, I'm excited about this episode. I'm pumped up. It's going to be amazing. This is going to be somewhat of a masterclass. Okay, so get your notepad ready if you got it out, right? This is going to be a masterclass. So for anybody looking to level up your career, anyone that's maybe thinking about starting a business or becoming an entrepreneur, maybe you're looking to change career paths and you're looking to level up your cash flow, this episode is for you. So I'm super excited and pumped about it. But for those of you that do not know me, maybe this is your first time tuning in, maybe it's your first time listening to the podcast. I want to give you a quick introduction. My name is Trevor Houston. I'm the executive producer and the host of the Who You Know Job Networking Show. And super excited because we were just voted as a top career podcast by MaxList 2022. So thank you to all of you who have been tuning in, who have been plugged into the podcast. If you're watching online, make sure you go subscribe to the podcast. And I want to just say thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that because it's because of you. It's because of the audience that we made that list. So thank you. I've been featured on various publications such as CBS 11, Fox News Radio, Forbes for my job search Trojan horse. And I've helped thousands and thousands of job seekers just like you to break out of the noise, to overcome ageism, to stand out and recover your cash flow. And speaking of cash flow, okay, that's what this is all about. All right. Speaking of cash flow, separately and independently from the Who You Know show, I'm also a licensed financial professional offering insurance and financial products through various carriers. And I can help you assess your financial situation and guide you through your career transition. So for more information on that, make sure you go check out careerpathwealthstrategies.com. Okay, now that I got all of that out of the way, let me dive in real quickly into the backstory of how I got started serving the job seeker community. It all happened and it all got started when I was introduced to a local career transition group called Frisco Connect. Okay, they met at a church, Stonebriar Community Church, here where I'm at in Frisco, Texas. And in the very beginning, I decided I wanted to be a fly on the wall. I wanted to see what was going on. What were people actually struggling with? What were people's challenges? And it's kind of interesting, but the answer was really pretty simple. The career search equals sales and marketing. Okay, I noticed there was a trend of things that they were going through. It's actually more than sales and marketing. It's more like being an entrepreneur. It's more like being a business owner, a business of one, right? You've got to be self-motivated and disciplined, and you got to get up and learn a whole bunch of new stuff. And I got a list right here. If you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. There's a ton of stuff that career changers and job seekers are having to learn, like budgeting, networking, resume writing, interviewing, branding, social media, marketing, follow-up, negotiation, closing the deal, right? There's just so much to it, and you're having to learn all these things at the same time. So in the chat, if you're watching online, I'd like to see what else. Am I missing anything? Right? I covered about 10 different items that job seekers are having to learn. And oftentimes, you know, when you first get into the job search, you don't know all this stuff, right? You're having to learn it all by yourself. So basically, you know, I got into the business of serving new business owners, of serving that business of one, the job seeker, the person who's having to learn it all and figure it all out, right? And the hardest part about whether you're a job seeker, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, it's all very similar. The hardest part about getting into this and starting is getting new clients or getting the attention of the decision makers, getting the attention of those recruiters and those hiring managers, right? Because if nobody knows you, if nobody knows who you are, then nobody flows you. Nobody's going to flow you that cash flow. That's Grant Cardone. He says that if nobody knows you, then nobody flows you. So what I saw was job seekers, they would apply online, and nothing would happen. It was the black hole, right? And you know, the ATS would just swallow up their resume, chew it up and spit it out, and they would get auto rejection, canned emails. If anybody can relate to that, tell me in the chat, right? So I saw that happening a lot. And entrepreneurs, very, very similar, you know, they're trying to sell something, whatever their product, their service, whatever it is that they do. And what they're doing is they're spamming DMs, right? Instead of applying online, they're just spam. They're spamming DMs, spamming emails and things like that. And, you know, they're getting blocked, you know, they're getting reported, stuff like that. It's not good for them either. So it's so important. If the biggest thing to this whole you know, job search or becoming an entrepreneur is about visibility. It's about people getting to know you, like you, trust you, so they can do business with you. It's about visibility. Well, where's your marketing funnel? Where is your marketing funnel? And a successful marketing funnel will actually drive inbound leads. Okay, inbound leads. And an inbound lead is where somebody comes and knocks on your door for your product, your service, or to hire you, to recruit you, whatever the case may be. They're coming to you, right? And that's the best case scenario. Let me tell you right now, the best case scenario for anybody is when they come to you asking you or recruiting you or asking about your service, right? Like that is the best case scenario, right? And so in order to do that, you need inbound leads. You need inbound leads, right? Like it's the best thing that you could have, right? And if you look at a diagram of a marketing funnel, like if you've ever looked at a diagram of a marketing funnel, there's really 4 steps. The very first step is awareness. Okay, that's the top of the funnel is awareness. The second step is interest, right? Once they know you exist and you can let people know about you, they can start to build some form of interest, which allows them to make a decision and take action. Okay, so you need to have a marketing funnel that brings awareness and brings people to you, right? The funny part about this is if you do it correctly and you create a really good marketing funnel, you don't have to be the best at what you do. And that's interesting when you say it. You don't have to be the best in your industry. You don't have to be the best candidate or the most qualified candidate if you are the most visible and the most known. The best known always beats best. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Best known always beats best. Well, what I mean by that, think about it. Think about McDonald's for a second. Does McDonald's have the best hamburger? Right? Does McDonald's have the best hamburger? Well, we all know the answer to that. It's no. They don't have the best hamburger. And I asked somebody this question before, and they told me, well, they got the cheapest hamburger. I said, well, do they? Do they have the cheapest hamburger anymore? No. You go to McDonald's, order a combo, it's like $10 to drive through. Come on now. They don't even have the cheapest hamburger. I can go to Chili's and get a better hamburger for the same price and sit down and be served, right? But why does McDonald's sell more than anyone? Why do they sell more than anyone? Well, it's because they do something really, really, really well, and that's market, right? They have an extremely good marketing campaign, okay? So today I'm going to talk to you and teach you a few basic ways on how to become more visible, how to market yourself, how to attract your target audience. So the first thing that you need to know is, where is your target market, right? Where are they? Where do they live? Where do they hang out? Basically, is what you need to know. Is it online? Is it on social media? Do they go to conferences? Do they go to networking meetings, associations? Like, where do these people go? Where does your target audience go? If you're a job seeker, think your target audience is the recruiters, the hiring managers, right? If you're a business owner, who is your target market? Where do they go? Right? On a frequent basis, that you can get their attention, right? And so today I'm going to talk basic. I'm going to talk about social media, because for most of us, this is where most people are going, right? They're going to their cell phone. On their cell phone, they got social media. This is where the attention is, right? Everybody's attention is typically drawn here. Now, there's other ways that you can do this, but we're going to talk a little bit today about social media. And I developed a process called the 7 C's to cash flow. Okay. The 7 C's to cash flow. And the 7 C's to cash flow is consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow. Okay. Into careers and cash flow. Or customers and cash flow, right? Could be customers and cash flow, right? If you're a business owner. But basically, the first step is consistency. You need to create consistent content. I will also say it needs to be good quality. You can't just put crap content out there and expect it, to do well and to perform well. I think that quality counts, consistency counts, and you need to put it out there on a regular basis. Show up. Tell your story, tell people what you do, and good things will just start to happen. This is what drives inbound leads. When people know about you, it creates that first level of the funnel, which is awareness. Okay. And if you do this on a consistent basis, it's going to drive conversations. Those conversations are opportunities, guys. When people come to your DMs, those are opportunities. You can convert that into cash flow. Okay. You can convert it into cash flow. But how do you create consistency online with content, right? This is an area I see a lot of people struggle. You know, hey, I did a post once a week, or I did 2 posts this month. Like, that's not consistent. When I mean consistent, I mean, like, guys, once a day, right? Once a day. Maybe 3-4 times a week, but you need to be doing consistent, and it needs to be quality. So how do you do that? Well, we also teach a strategy, which is where you create either a podcast or a live stream similar to this one that I'm on right now, right? If you're watching me online, I can take this live stream and I can chop it up into a million different pieces. I can chop it up into memes and quotes and slides and audiograms and clips and you name it, right? You can repurpose this content and chop it up. You know, it's even being repurposed right now for our podcast, right? It's another form of content. Now, podcasts, YouTube videos traditionally, and these live streams, these are long form content. And the goal here is to take that long form and chop it up into short form little micro pieces that people digest, that you can post on social media. And that's what I'm going to do with this one right here. I'm going to end up chopping this up into a million pieces. Okay. And that's how you create a content machine that enables you to take, one little piece of content. I wrote this out today, one little piece of content, and chop it up, and you have a month's worth out of it, right? And create one video like this live stream and create a month's worth of content. Okay. So that's how you stay consistent. Pretty simple. It's actually Gary Vee's model. He's got a piece of content that you guys should all go take a look out. It's how to create 64 pieces of content in one day. In one day. How to create 64 in one day. And it's basically long form into short form. So I encourage you to go check that out. You can Google it, Gary Vaynerchuk. Go look up that, how to create 64 pieces of content in one day. Okay. But what about outbound? Okay, I talked a lot about inbound, how to create content to drive leads in, but what about reaching out? Is there still a place for cold outreach? Is there still a place for you to reach out and send that DM? Well, actually, yes, there is. There's definitely still a place for you to reach out. And it works a lot better and a lot more effective, actually. Your outreach will be a lot more effective if you already have an existing marketing strategy. And here's why. When you're reaching out cold, what do you think that person is going to do? When you reach out cold and send a DM to somebody that's completely cold, they don't know you from Adam, what do you think they're going to do? What would you do? Most likely they're going to look at your profile, right? And when they look at your profile, they're going to look at your content and get an idea of who you are, right? To see if this is relevant to them and if they can, if they're interested in a conversation with you, if there's any credibility, any authority. They're going to look for a lot of different things, and they're going to make a decision on based off of what they see. But if you don't have an existing content strategy, well, if they don't see anything, it actually lowers your chances of a response. Okay. So it is real important to think about that. But there's also strategy to outbound. Okay, there is strategy to outbound. So I'm going to talk to you about a strategy that I know works very, very well. It's very, very effective. So the first step that you want to do is do some research. Okay, if I'm looking to reach out and grab someone's attention, I need to do my research. I need to find the decision makers, and I can do this effectively using LinkedIn, using their search function, and find the people I want to connect with, whoever that is. Okay. Again, if you're a job seeker, this could be a recruiter, right? If you're a business owner, it could be your target audience, whatever that is for you. right? But do your research, locate them using LinkedIn. It's a very good way to target. So that's step number one. Step number two is once you find these people, okay, once you find them, then you want to go look at their all activity section, okay? The all activity section tells you everything they like, comment, share, create. It tells you everything that they do on the platform, okay? It's a great way for you to build commonality. It's a great way for you to find things that you have in common with these folks, okay? So first, you want to do your research and find them, locate them. Number two, look for the all activity section and find ways to build commonality around your conversation, okay? I would also think of ways to give them a compliment, okay? So what we want to do now is we want to send them a comment, okay? We want to send them a comment on their content, okay? So if they posted something, I want to compliment them. I want to give them a comment, compliment them, bring up some form of commonality that bridges a bond, okay? And I'm going to do that by looking and doing a little research. But I'm going to do this in a very, very engaging way that I will tell you there's like a 95% response rate. Okay, I'm going to show you how to almost but guarantee that you get a response. Okay, I'm actually going to do this live. What you're going to do is you're going to send them a video comment with their name on a little whiteboard like this one. Okay, little whiteboard, and you're going to write their name on it. So I'm actually going to look for somebody in the chat right now. Let me scroll to the bottom of the chat, and I'm going to pull this up over here. Let's see. I've got Mez. Mez says, I'm out, fam. Good to see you, Mez. I see Mike. Mike's in the house. Target, engage, build relationships, then DM. Such a smart man. Mike knows this strategy very well because he's done it. So, Mike, I am going to do something real quick. I'm going to write your name. Actually, you know what? I think I spoiled it. Hold on. I'm not gonna do Mike. Mike, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. I messed up. Hold on. I'm not gonna do you. I'm gonna do someone else. Someone I'm not gonna say their name. Because if I say it, I'm gonna give away the surprise. Okay. So sorry, Mike. Sorry, I hate to do that to you. I'm gonna do this for somebody else, okay? So here we go. You should see your name now on the screen. You should see your name right now on the screen. And I'm going to ask you a question, okay? I'm going to ask you a question. And my question is this. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, what would you rate this masterclass, okay? 1 to 10, 10 being the best. And if you give me a 10, I've got a special gift for you. You see how I did that? If you give me a 10, I've got a special gift for you. So you should see your name right now, and I'll wait for the comment to come through. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, what would you rate this masterclass? And while I got Joelle. She says 12. Joelle, love you. That is awesome. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that comment, because it's going to come, I promise you it's coming. While I'm waiting for it, part of that strategy, again, is to flash the name at the screen like this. This will get their attention, right? It's going to get their attention. They will respond. And is it clickbait? Is it clickbait? Yes. It's kind of clickbaitish, okay? But guess what? It works, okay? It works. And I got a bunch of 10s. Everybody's giving me 10s. I appreciate you. For those that are listening to the podcast, I just flashed a whiteboard with the person's name on it, and now we're getting 10s, okay? So that's awesome. Is it clickbait? Yes, it's clickbait. You're going to leave a video comment. It's going to get their attention. It's going to have their name on it. It's going to show them that it's not spam. And then in your video, you want to do a couple of things. Okay, you want to, again, commonality, right? Tell them something that you have in common, and you're only going to be able to find that out by getting to know them by their content, looking at their content. So find something of commonality. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan. Okay, I'm a big Cowboys fan. If you saw that, you could mention that, right? So commonality is important. And then give them a compliment. Compliment is super important. So you would say something like, hey, love this content, super awesome, thought it was amazing, whatever you were writing about X, Y, and Z. Hey, I'd love to have a conversation sometime. Whenever you get an opportunity, I put a link to my calendar down below. And this is what you include into your video. So you now include a call to action. Okay. So these are the 3 C's to a conversion, right? You want to convert that compliment, okay? Or I'm sorry, you want to convert the comment that you're leaving. You convert the comment by, again, commonality, okay? That's number 1, commonality. You want to leave them a compliment. That's the second C. And then the third is call to action. So the call to action typically works really well if you have them go to your calendar, okay? Look, there's another C. I just keep coming up with C's. Calendar, right? Call to action to your calendar, right? Get them on your calendar. And what we find is that there's about a 95% scheduling ratio. That's huge. Like, think about that. Imagine if every DM that you sent, you got a scheduling, like you got somebody to schedule with you, or you got the conversation started that you were looking for. Imagine that. How awesome would that be if you sent at 95%? That's how amazing this is. From 95 response rate, 50% will actually schedule. So that's huge. So 1 out of 2 will actually schedule with you and get on your calendar. So this is a way, guys, to really increase your outbound. Okay. Remember, we need inbound, but we need outbound too. Okay, we need outbound too. You need to target the decision makers that you want to go for. This tool, you can use it to do comments, you can do DMs, you can do emails, you can do all these different things. And the last part to this strategy for the outbound is to ring their notification bell. Ring their notification bell. Okay. So if you have seen this recently, LinkedIn had an upgrade. And now they have this little notification bell to the top, I believe, top right-hand corner of the profile. And when you ring it, you get notified every single time they put out a new piece of content. And so that's a new opportunity for you to go and leave them a comment on their content, right? Every time you get notified right away as soon as they post something. Which, what a great opportunity that is for you to reach out. Like, it gives you a reason to reach out. It's amazing. It's not really cold anymore because you have a reason to reach out. And so I actually use that strategy a lot myself with ringing of the bell. I've got a top list of people that I'm inviting onto my show, like some really, really big names like Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk and a bunch of these people that are like next level. And I use that same strategy. I go and I ring every single one of their bells so I get notified when they come out with new content, and I leave them a video comment. And my video comment is so cool. It actually stays up at top comment. Okay. It stays at the very, very top, because it gets a lot of likes. When people like your comment, it goes to the top. It stays most relevant. Okay. If you've ever looked at a comment section, there's like latest or newest comment, and then there's like most relevant, the top comment. You want to be the top comment. Okay. And if you put a video with someone's name on it, boom, I promise you, you're going to be the top comment, and you're going to get their attention, and you're going to get a conversation started. It's super, super effective in driving conversations. But you do have to stay consistent. Don't think that by doing one of these, like trying it one time, that it's all of a sudden like you're gonna, you know, like you're not gonna be a master at it the first time you do it. So stay consistent, practice. We teach a strategy that gives you the most opportunity to get good at this, which is the tool, by the way. I've been talking all about this video tool. It's called BombBomb. Okay, BOMB. It leaves video comments, DMs, messages, things like that. They have a 14-day free trial. And so what we talk to people about is in that 14 days to do 10 videos a day every single day for 14 days. And that gives you 140 videos. 140 videos in 14 days. And that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But the key here is to get good at it, to get the practice and the reps in, and also when you see the 50% scheduling ratio, when you all of a sudden, when you do 140 videos and you see you got 70 scheduled conversations, when you see that, you're going to go like that. Like you're going to get it. You'll fully understand it at that point, right? It just makes sense. Now, what's the next step? Okay, I got these conversations, I'm having interviews, or I'm you know, a business owner and I'm starting to do some business and I'm working and I'm talking to these people. Well, you may not always close the deal right off the bat. Oftentimes you don't. Oftentimes you'll have a meeting, you know, you'll pitch your product or your service or whatever it is that you're doing, but you know, you don't always close the deal, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get married on the first date, okay? You might have to have a few dates before you close the deal, is all I'm saying. All right? So the money is in the follow-up, right? The money is in the follow-up. If you've ever heard that, put follow-up in the chat. If you've ever heard that. Hashtag follow-up, okay? So the money's in the follow-up. And in today's digital world, right, there's so many different ways to communicate. You have to think about it. Like there's text message, there's email, there's video mail, there's Zoom, there's, you know, social media, right? There's all the DMs and stuff like that. There's commenting, there's live commenting. You guys are live commenting in right now. There's voicemails, there's picture messages and handwritten letters, and gosh, you know, Morse code. There's just so many ways to communicate. You can send a carrier pigeon, right? Like there's just so many ways to communicate on this world. So how do you reach people and how do you consistently follow up, right? Well, there's really 3 steps to that. Number 1, you need to just ask. Okay, you got to ask 3 things. Okay, what are the next steps in this process? Like, what are the next steps, right? Figure that out. It's super important, okay? So before you hang up that call, before you get off that, you need to figure out what is their expectation, what are the next steps, okay? Like, and how do you prefer that I follow up? That's step number 2. You know, so first step is, you know, what are the next steps? Second step is, how do you prefer to be contacted? Do you want an email? Do you want a text message? Do you want a picture message? What do you want? Like, how do you prefer? I just talked about there's like 100 different ways. For me, if you really want to get a hold of me, get to my email. Like, I'm going to respond to you much faster on email. I get so many DMs and I get so much other stuff, even voicemails. Like, I get a lot. But email, for whatever reason, I have to get through to the bottom of my email every day. So I'm going to get to you. So ask them, how do you prefer? What's your preferred method for follow-up? And then number 3, when would you like me to follow up, right? It's super important. You just need to ask those 3 questions and then do it, right? Do it exactly how they tell you to. They'll tell you, they'll give you the formula. They'll give you the formula. And what's funny is Like when you do it and you show up and you contact them in the way they asked you to contact them during the timeline that they gave you to contact them, like if you follow exactly what they tell you, like most likely they're just going to be impressed. Like most people just don't do it. They're going to be impressed. They're going to say, wow. And they're going to, you know, hopefully give you the opportunity. It raises your chances like a lot. Right. But if you're following up and you don't know when to follow up and you're reaching out on a method that isn't their preferred method, like now you're starting to bug them a little bit or pester them or what have you. It's completely different. There's a difference between being a pest and being like a really good solid follow-up, like good solid follow-up. There is a difference. You all have experienced it. I promise you. I know you have. Let me know in the chat if you've ever experienced like a bad salesperson or pushy or pesky or like right? Like let me know that in the chat. If you've ever had that person that just bugs you, right? And they're bad follow-up, right? Let me know in the chat. And also let me know now if you've ever had someone who is just on their game, right? They're consistent, they're considerate, they ask the right questions, they follow up when they're supposed to, right? Like it makes the world a difference. I promise you, it makes the world a difference. So those are the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Was the inbound leads, the outbound leads, creating a marketing funnel, how to follow up effectively, all these different things that can help you to level up your career and level up your cash flow, right? Level up your career and level up your cash flow. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure to subscribe, download, share, give us a review. Hopefully this can help more people. The more reviews that we get on our podcast, obviously that helps us reach more and more people. So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I do want to tell you about a few updates and a few events that we got going on. So we have coming up, number one, I'm making some major changes, major tweaks and improvements to our Career Transition Summit. So that is on the way, coming very, very soon. Our Career Transition Summit's going to get a nice upgrade. Number two, we have our Backstage Pass live event. Okay, our next show in studio with the live studio audience, the Who You Know show that you know and love, is coming on June 8th. Okay, and we've got some amazing guests. We got Sarah Delane, Omar Rodriguez, Zandra Evans, and I was successful and I was able to get Madeline Mann to come to Texas. So if y'all don't know who Madeline Mann is, you need to go check her out. She's only like one of the number one career YouTubers out there. She's absolutely crushing it. Y'all, once you get in her world, you'll understand why I'm saying this. She creates courses for LinkedIn and all that. Like she's awesome. So Madeline Mann's coming to town. Super excited about that. That's June 8th. And what is Backstage Pass? So Backstage Pass is where we invite our audience in, right? You get to come be part of, you get to be part of the show. Live studio audience. It's a lot of fun. We like to pour out and do giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. We have a party afterwards, a little after party. It's a lot of fun. So I see John Bollard in the comments. He says, can't wait for June 8th. That's right. I'm going to see you there. That's going to be awesome. So can't wait. If you want a ticket to Backstage Pass, if you are in the Dallas, Texas area, you can do one of two things. Right now, if you're tuning in online, just put hashtag Backstage Pass. Okay, put hashtag Backstage Pass. If you're listening on the podcast and you want a ticket, then you can send me an email. You can actually send me an email to who you know show at gmail.com. That's who you know show at gmail.com, or send me a DM on LinkedIn. just let me know that you want to be there at Backstage Pass June 8th. And the last update that I have for you guys is my third is LinkedIn optimization blueprint. Okay, I've been working on this, and I'm super excited about that. The blueprint is going to give you the granular steps that you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. It's step by step, guys. It's kind of like, you could take a course and you could watch videos and get overwhelmed. Like imagine you watch a video of someone cooking a lasagna, right? Like they're a chef and they're showing you, hey, you got to do all this, and they're showing you step by step, right? But then if you watch the video and by the time you're done with the video, you forgot what to do. That's what online courses are these days. Most people don't finish online courses. They don't complete them. They don't get the transformation. They don't get the lasagna, right? At the end of the day, they just watch a bunch of videos. A blueprint is like getting the recipe, literally, like step-by-step recipe, right? It's a lot easier to follow the recipe. If you just follow the recipe, you're going to get the lasagna at the end of the day. Like that's what you want. You want the end result. So my blueprint is coming soon. Super excited about that because ultimately, I don't want people just going through a course, learning a bunch of stuff and not applying it, not getting the result. I want transformation. I want people to get the transformation at the end of the day. So I'm excited about the blueprint. Those are my 3 updates. We got our Career Transition Summit is being modified right now. Doing a remix to that. June 8th, Backstage Pass. And then the third one is LinkedIn Optimization Blueprint coming to you soon. Super excited. I want to give some quick shout outs before I go. I see Fanny Dunnigan in the house, LinkedIn Recipe. That's right. Maybe I just need to call it that. I need to just get away from Blueprint. Hold on. I like that. LinkedIn Recipe. That sounds good. What do y'all think? Do y'all think LinkedIn Blueprint or LinkedIn Recipe? Which one y'all like? I like the recipe. I see Foster Williams in the house, the Job Father. Good to see you. Jason Hopper says he wants some lasagna. I made you hungry. That's what I'm talking about. I see Lisa Parker. She says, hi, Fanny. Love that. Good to see you. I see Hope Mangita in the house. John Bollard. We got Patricia McCoon. Good to see you. Let's see who else. Neil Anson and Yolanda Chin. She says hashtag follow up. Tuning in from the YouTube channel. Love that. Did y'all know we got a YouTube channel? Y'all need to go check out the YouTube channel and subscribe, by the way. Okay, the Who You Know Show. You need to go check that out on YouTube. Always putting up new content. So, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you for joining. Jason says recipe. He likes the recipe. I like that too. Yeah. Then you can put food photos in your booklet. Fanny says. Then you can put food photos in your booklet. Neil says LinkedIn Ratatouille. LinkedIn Ratatouille. I love that. Denise says LinkedIn recipe to success. Yes, then you can have a recipe book. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to consider changing the name up a little bit. It's the LinkedIn Recipe to Success. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Episode 320. If I can get a 320 before I go, 320. Okay. And I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. Have a phenomenal, blessed day. And I cannot wait to see you all at Backstage Pass next week, June 8th. It's going to go off the hook. We're going to have all the mic drops. Get ready for them. Bye.